Thank you, and apologies for my lateness. I, in fact, was lost in Paris, which I'm sure on any other occasion when you don't need to be somewhere would have been perfectly lovely. But I have arrived. My apologies. I am going to talk to you about foresighting, which is what Business Support Kent is leading on. When I started looking at foresighting, I realised that predominantly it's carried out by large technology companies. It's where they look to see where technology will be growing. It doesn't really currently look at combining opportunities with that technology growth, and more importantly, it doesn't look at the role of SMEs. So within KARIM, the idea was that we would look at collecting the information in the way that large technology companies would, but that we would interpret that differently, and we would look at future implications within the 6 growth technology areas that we're looking at within the KARIM project, but also in terms of where opportunities would sit for SMEs. The action then sits with those that read the research and what they would like to do with it. So how would you like to take that forward? Why is foresighting important? Again, we've looked at that predominantly in terms of SMEs and why they should or can benefit. So the research, when you access it, it's on our internet site, looks at gaps in the market, an idea of who those gaps may be appropriate to, but also an idea of where companies might be able to diversify or adapt. Coming from that, once these gaps have been identified, you can then see where there are key areas around that. So we're looking at collaborations, which is why you're all here today, to think about collaborations with universities, with other companies, so that you can meet a need or a gap in the market. It may be that you have an idea for new products, or you have a new direction for an existing product. And the first foresighting area we looked at was in offshore and marine. And we realized that lots of companies are working in different areas, but they have products that could be adapted to an expanding market. And finally, as I said, a new way of working. Can companies diversify or adapt to a changing market? In terms of eco-toxicology, this is the second report that we've done. It will be available on the website, I hope, next week. It has been finished. It's just going through final proofing. And in particular, we have looked at the areas that people have been alluding to this morning. So we've looked at reach, and we've looked at where the opportunities could be. Now, recognizing that some of this obviously needs a background in this industry, but some of it you could diversify into in terms of project management. But these are the key areas that it breaks it down into. So the registration process, third-party representation services, chemical evaluation, environmental assessments, supporting the supply chain, SVHC analysis, compliance. The second area is the Biocidal Products Directive, Cosmetics Directive, slightly wrong. And again, it was talked about this morning, non-animal testing. These are key areas. And finally, the Biocidal Products Directive. And again, what it then goes on to look at is nanomaterials, which has been talked about a lot this morning. The changes in legislation, regulation. This is something that will need to be kept an eye on, and that this is an area that people can start emerging into. So where can you access the information? The information is available on the KARIM Network website. It's in amongst lots of other information that you may be interested in terms of student placements, training, future open forum events, and also I will say that I will have a blog and an RSS feed that will update regularly on these areas as they emerge once I figure out how to use it and become super whizzy with it. But I will be working on that, and that's something to watch out for. Thank you very much. Please do visit the site. Please have a look at the reports. It will go into it in much more detail. Thank you very much for your time.